Well, would you look at that? Refreshing the Destiny the Game subreddit isn't making time go by any faster. It's a good thing I've put off even opening the Destiny Newsweek, which I'm going to do now. There's some interesting things I saw in my glance through. But what I thought I'd do in the interest of bringing you closer to Destiny is read, literally, this entire magazine. So, let's get started. Divine Inspiration. It's awesome to be a knight, this heraldic, legendary character with a cape who's going around doing good, says Bungie's Pete Parsons. But burning through the atmosphere, landing on the ground, and taking stuff out with a grenade is awesome too. What we finally ended up saying is, why can't we have both? Come back for more. We build games to be long-term, says Bungie designer Dan Miller. It's the replayability factor. We want people to constantly be coming back, even if it's a month later, to enjoy the game in a different way. We always want them to be surprised again. The most anticipated blockbuster of 2014 is a multi-million-dollar epic. It has sweeping post-apocalyptic landscapes, intense battles, some of Hollywood's biggest stars. But the most exciting thing about this forthcoming saga is that the hero, the center of it all, is you. This is your story. This is the future of gaming. This is Destiny. The perfect game. How Bungie built on past triumphs to create the game they've always wanted to play. As a game, it's a thrill ride. It's visceral. It feels good in your hands. But then there's the atmosphere and seductiveness of the world Bungie's created. It's a world I want to go deeper into. Eric Hirschberg, CEO, Activision. When Bungie says, we make games that we want to play, that's not just a charming little piece of marketer speech. It's a really important truth about our development process and how we create. Deej, Bungie Community Manager. Any chance I get these days, I'll play it. And I've never done that for any game I've ever worked on. Ever. I feel compelled to play it. Dan Miller, Bungie designer. How do you achieve perfection? The word is common, but opportunities to use it are rare. In the entire history of Major League Baseball, only 23 pitchers have authored a perfect game. In the video game world, where even the most commercially and critically successful games feature glitches or bugs, that number is even smaller. I work with a team of perfectionists who believe their work is never complete. Just do, muses Bungie's community manager David Deej. Deadlines notwithstanding, Bungie has had brushes with greatness in the past. Their most famous offering, Halo, a first-person shooter that set the stage for pretty much every FPS that followed, as well as helped put Xbox in nearly every dorm room back in 2001, is widely considered to be one of the greatest video game series of all time. Having grossed upwards of $3.4 billion in revenue since its release, Halo was, nay, is a perfect game. The question for the team that created it was, nay, is, how do we top it? The answer for a company that was building fans and the larger community with every passing month was to create an experience they could all enjoy together. Right around the Halo 2 timeframe, we started talking about a game that, while it was a game you could play by yourself, had larger cooperative elements to it and was much more of a living world, says Pete Parsons, Bungie's coup. With Halo 3, I think we continue to build on that crowd and continue to enhance how we thought about cooperative play. In late 2000, Bungie began working on the next big idea, a fantasy-based game on a grand communal scale. A sword and sorcery, knights and wizards RPG epic, rich with lore and legends that players could enjoy together. A team of designers was pulled off all Halo-related projects and tasked exclusively with laying the groundwork for the company's lowercase d, Destiny. The future was underway, but Bungie couldn't quite escape its past. We were very tempted into making a straight fantasy game, says Tom Sanaki, character and cinematic technical lead, but sci-fi kept pulling people back in. Everyone here loves sci-fi and space and the universe. It's such a great model for mystery and adventure and exploration. We said, we like most of these elements. Let's put them together and see what we can take from sci-fi and fantasy and pull them into something new. It became what our art director called mythic science fiction. Creating a completely new universe and genre is not without its pitfalls. As the adage goes, the devil is in the details. So what do perfectionists do? They confront every detail head on. They bring on artists from companies like Pixar to get the shading and texturing on cloth and armor just right. They convince one of the greatest songwriters in history, Paul McCartney, to contribute to the game's soundtrack. They asked a guy who helped land a rover on Mars to tell them everything he can about the terrain of a planet no human has ever set foot on. Bungie's a bunch of space geeks, says Craig Hargrove, a postdoctoral research scientist at Arizona State University and former Mars Curiosity rover team member. They love outer space and Mars and all that sort of stuff. I've been a huge fan of their games for the longest time, so they invited me up to the studio. I've given talks on what the Curiosity discovered on Mars to the whole studio. I also gave a Geology 101 class on how rocks form, just to give them some inspiration in terms of how things form in the solar system and why they look the way they do. The result of all that time, collaboration, and ceaseless work is a staggering achievement. Destiny is an immersive, unrelentingly inviting world you can explore alone or with other players. And the team at Bungie, who have had the most hands-on experience with their creation, can't get enough. It's a game I find myself wanting to play even after I've already played it through, says Sanaki. There's more to discover, more to see. There's an adventure in that. Even those who don't work for the company agree. In late 2011, we brought in these bitter, jaded gamers that hate everything, says Parsons. They're the perfect people to start testing ideas with. We didn't tell them anything about the game, and they're walking in this world that's really crude compared to what it is today. All of a sudden, one of them spots the other in this larger public space, and it just blows their minds. They'd never seen that in a game before. And they actually share a moment. And they go off and do their own thing. That was a nice validation that the experience we were creating could be really powerful. Powerful is an understatement. Destiny offers something for everyone. For those who prefer to explore, there are endless miles of dunes, jungles, and caves to venture into. Prefer a quest for arms or armor? There are literally thousands of options to seek out and use. For players who get a kick out of kicking their friends' teeth in during competitive multiplayer mode, Destiny offers the most exhilarating arenas in gaming history, made doubly exciting because the player you're poning noobs with is one you've built throughout the game. It's all things to all players. It's addictive in the best ways. It's gorgeous, mysterious, compelling, and fun as hell. It is, in a word, perfect. Choose your own adventure. Though it takes place within our own solar system, the plot of Destiny is as vast and mysterious as the universe itself. In the world of Destiny, humanity will make an incredible discovery in the not-too-distant future. The Traveler. A visitor from another world, and perhaps time, the Traveler and its light usher in a golden age on Earth. As a civilization, humanity becomes so advanced that we venture beyond our atmosphere, colonizing nearby planets in our own solar system. We inherit great power, experience great leaps in technology, and then discover, to our dismay, that the Traveler isn't alone in the universe. It has a great enemy, the darkness. Our battle against the darkness led to the near extinction of all mankind in an effort referred to as the Collapse. It also nearly destroyed the Traveler, which now rests, incapacitated, hovering over the last city on Earth. The darkness receded. Over the centuries that followed, humanity began to rebuild. As a player, you are part of that rebuilding process. You enter the story in media res, part of a small but proud civilization trying to survive. The darkness has returned, and this time, the Traveler won't be able to protect us. Though its power is dying, and it is both silent and immobile, the Traveler has imbued its light into many souls on Earth. Once dead, these souls have now been resurrected through the light of the Traveler at a time of great need. Humanity's second rise has begun. The last city needs explorers. It needs defenders. It needs guardians. Great warriors able to wield the light of the Traveler. Guardians have been brought back from the dead to fight the darkness and its allies. They must travel beyond the city's wall, even beyond the surface of our planet, to both learn about humanity's golden age and to lead us toward a second rise. You are a guardian. You are our last hope. You're about to become legend. What that means is entirely up to you.